Renuka Chaudhary, if you can come in here, I regret that Dinesh Trivedi is stepping down as Railway Minister. Now, what do those words actually mean? If the Prime Minister regrets it, why is he accepting it? Mukul Roy is going to be the replacement. We've heard the Prime Minister didn't want him. Earlier, as Minister of State for Railways, Mukul Roy had snubbed the Prime Minister. Who is calling the shots in the UPA coalition?
Well, you know, so there are no black and white solutions to these issues. And we are in an era of coalition governments. And as we are evolving and understanding each other, and what is the matrix that we put in the perspective of national development, it's a learning curve that we are all on. Now, of course, a Prime Minister will regret losing a cabinet colleague. I mean, you're hardly going to hear him say, I'm delighted that he's been removed. And particularly when we have just presented the railway budget, which has, one moment. He's presented a budget which has been, for once, the unions have all supported. And across the country, it was welcomed and received well.
Not by most political parties. It wasn't received by most political parties well. No, the irony is, are you standing by this railway budget or not? Because you're saying it's been received well, yet it's virtually a certainty that it will be rolled back at least partially.
Look, this is a matter of give and take, that we need to keep a stability and to do a balancing act, quite frankly. It is for the coalition partners to understand that what kind of impact it's going to have on the nation. At some point we have to evolve when we talk of national politics, that you will think of how to keep the nation. It's not enough to cry about our federal rights when we are not a federal constitution. But when you are talking about federal rights, there must be a greater understanding.
Is that to you, Mr. Shoguta Roy? Because we just heard Mamata Banerjee saying they're very categorically that, look, local issues aren't understood by the people sitting in Delhi, by the politicians in Delhi, and that's the real problem. All of us have our local compulsions, and obviously Delhi has to understand that. We heard Renuka Chaudhary just said that you have to understand being a federal structure doesn't mean you have federal rights to demand whatever you want.
No, what Renuka Chaudhary just said is perfectly understandable. The whole thing is that we have seen the rise of regional parties in recent times. Just see in UP, regional party has come to power, and it's obvious that the approach and the outlook, the worldview of a regional party would be somewhat different from a large national party, which you can call a federal party. So with a different worldview, it will interact with a national party and something will come out of that solution.
But forget world view, have we left out the India view? Tavleen Singh, if you could come in here, because you've made the point, you in fact tweeted saying that Mamata Banerjee is more Marxist than CPIM, and you've got CPIM sitting next to you. And you've also made the point that the silence of the Prime Minister speaks as loudly as the, well, exuberance or the words of Mamata Banerjee.
You see, there are 2 or 3 things that I've just heard that really I'd like to start with. One is, what makes you say the railways is an unimportant ministry?
Wait,
I don't want, you just said we got a small share, finance and defence with the...
We've got only one cabinet portfolio.
For a start, the railways is
Congress
vital.
Has got 20.
1 second. The railways is vital, right?
Every ministry is vital.
1 second, now I'm speaking. The railways is the most important ministry where transport is concerned, in my view, because we have already, where transport is concerned.
Transport is only a small part.
Now, if you would allow me to speak, just give me like 60 seconds.
Yeah,
right.
Have it.
You know that every Southeast Asian country is ahead of us on the railways? That because of this kind of attitude that we see from the Chief Minister of West Bengal, where silly political considerations and little peak in this, that and the other, and roll back this and that, the other. Just China, you know, the CPM, you should know very well about China, is 50 years ahead of us where the railways are concerned.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.